pleased today to have Anton Haswell from Intellect Quest in Canada, in Toronto, as our guest in the cafe. Anton, welcome to the cafe.
Hi, Ed. Thanks for having me.
Not at all. And thank you for sharing some expertise today. Anton's going to talk to us a little bit about, well, a lot of aspects about Canada, because we know how popular Canada is, both for a study destination and for a lot of people to come and live.
Mhm.
From your experience and as a Canadian, Anton, what would you say are, let's say, three things that somebody should know about Canada?
Right. Yeah. And that's a good question, Ed, to start. As a Canadian, I suppose growing up, I'd have a different answer for you. But now, as I've gotten older and I actually have managed to live abroad and see what Canada looks like from the outside myself and different perceptions, the sort of tokenistic answers change. If you were asking me maybe 10 years ago, I'd have said, well, ice hockey, uh, you know, great camping, um, really, cold winters, as is the case. Everybody knows that that's the case. But
Yeah.
when you get older, and for people who are considering Canada as a destination, for many different reasons, I've managed to speak to a lot of individuals who are newcomers to Canada, as well as individuals who are residing in other countries, including where you are at in the UK. Um, and so I'd say um, my my sense of Canada now, based on my experiences, are that I guess first and foremost, really, it's pro-immigration. Canada needs immigrants. It's crucial to Canada's prosperity.
Yeah.
Notably, Canada has one of the world's lowest birth rates, and I think actually that's a global trend. But Canada
Indeed.
is no different. And as a result, Canada needs immigrants to contribute to the economy, to sustain the economy. There are a lot of really great natural resources, a lot of great tech hubs, but we need people to sort of mine those resources and to further the tech advances that Canada's managed to do with companies like Shopify and things like that. So really the labor market relies heavily on skilled immigration. And so as such, I would say what's really valuable to outsiders and to newcomers is that they're welcomed. It's really pro-immigration. Secondarily to that, I think what Canada is quite proud of is its multicultural sense of welcoming. It's very multicultural. And in fact, I'm in Toronto. I think, by the numbers, the most ethnically diverse city in the world, with so many different cultures commingling and so many different restaurants. And really what that means is that not only do Canadians who are born here, like I, feel like we fit in, so too do different cultures, people from different cultures, people from all over the world, with different expectations of how the day should go. Well, albeit there are certain, expectations, but you can live the way you want. And that's because there's been this great embrace of multiculturalism. So that would be the second thing I think is really important. If somebody's curious about Canada, they want to wonder, am I going to be safe? Am I going to be welcomed? And I would say, yeah, absolutely. And then, it's sometimes laughed off as a sort of, interesting tidbit. But truly, if you're interested in Canada, there are some of I'm sure, Ed, you get the same kinds of questions about the UK. But for me, the weather does come up. It's a legitimate question that a lot of people from, let's say, India or even parts of China or in those areas in the Middle East, the very, very hot climates, winter is something different. It's not necessarily experienced in the same way. And truly in Canada, there are 4 seasons. And that means that there's a very warm summer. For instance, now as we're speaking, it's about 50 degrees Celsius in Vancouver or in British Columbia more generally.
Yes.
Some statistic had it hotter this week than it was in Dubai. So
Wow.
in the summertime, it gets very warm. And then in the wintertime across the country, there are varying levels of severity, but it does snow and it does get cold. And more so than just, oh, I can't imagine what that must be like. quite literally, if you're bringing a young family here, or if you're a young person yourself and you're coming to experience Canada for the first time, it's a consideration to make when you're thinking about what to buy before you come, or when you're budgeting for when you get here, what you should invest in. Definitely some warm clothing for the winter months. So those would be three things I think are important to keep in mind if you're curious about Canada. I mean, there's a whole list, and as always, as a true Canadian would say, never forget the ice hockey either. Huh.
No, don't want to lose that.
Yeah,
Especially it goes with the cold so well.
that's right. Yes.
For a lot of people, their first encounter with Canada is as student.
Hmm.
If there are people looking to study, perhaps early on or at postgrad level in Canada, what's available? What are the processes? What should people be aware of if they want to study in Canada?
Yeah. Yeah, great question, and hopefully really relevant to people watching is if you want to study in Canada, great. There are a lot of really great universities, colleges, private career colleges, and high schools with a myriad of degree and diploma granting institutions as well. So firstly, I'd say it's definitely possible to do. Really high ranked global institutions here, as well as institutions that are focused on getting individuals into the workforce more quickly. We call those here colleges. Those are more vocational training institutions, and those are really great for international students actually who are interested in studying, but as well as looking maybe at the medium to longer term picture in terms of wanting to eventually immigrate to Canada.